So, you know how they say, work smarter, not harder? What do you do then if you're an idiot? Hey guys, it is your boy, Mr. Tag! Today I'm bringing you a very different take on Stardust, Assault Mode, Turbo, Decky build thing. So, for those who don't know, what is Stardust Dragon Assault Mode? What does it do? Why would you build a deck around this card? Well, the big thing with it is, it's an Omni Negate. So we can stop spells, traps, monster effects, and spell trap effect activations. So obviously, another Omni Negate in Edison is Light and Darkness Dragon. That doesn't stop spell and trap effects, it stops their activations, and Solemn Judgment does not stop monster effects. This basically does it all. Obviously it doesn't stop summons, which Solemn Judgment does do, but it can negate more than Judgment can, and it doesn't cost you 4k life points. And the huge thing with this is, not only do you it tributes itself from field, negates activation of that card and destroys it, and during the end phase it comes back, and if your opponent somehow deals with it by destroying it, somehow, I don't know how they're doing that, probably by battle, you can then summon out Stardust Dragon from the graveyard. It's great. It's a crazy card. It's pretty good. The huge downside is that it can only be summoned with Assault Mode activate, or then once it's on the field by its own effect in the graveyard, which is a big downside. And Assault Mode activate specifically says it summons from the deck, which is kind of irritating, hence why you have to play two, because if you draw it, your whole deck just goes down the toilet. Mostly there are ways to mitigate that. You could obviously play cards which shuffle stuff back. You could, that's probably the only way you can really do it, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, so that's that card, and then obviously we have to play stuff around it. So we play Gauze because it's Gauze, because, sometimes you're just not going to get to the combo. But, you summon Gauze out and you can win games off Gauze. So the big strategy here is we're playing mostly level 5 non-tuners and level 3 tuners. So hence, that's 8. 8 gets you to Stardust Dragon, which is a prerequisite for summoning Stardust Dragon Assault Mode. So our level 5s are Cyber Dragon. Opponent controls a monster which is special summons from hand. Easy peasy. I can clear up annoying machine boards as well, depending on the matchup. Sphere of Chaos. So when this is tribute summoned, we can add a level 3 from deck to hand, and level 3 we want. So typically we're adding Chaos End Master, because this card is one card level 8. In some ways, so is Flamvell Fire Dog. That's also one card level 8, but the thing is with Flamvell Fire Dog, because you can't search it, this is searchable, Fire Dog is not. It's harder to get this card's effect off, but we've got built around that. Hence why this is the package we're playing today. I have tested Flamvell Assault Mode, which doesn't feel as good as this deck does. I've had so much fun with this deck, and I have also been winning all the time. So there you go. So we've got Sphere of Chaos. I also run Oracle of the Sun, which is another Cyber Dragon. It is a much worse Cyber Dragon, only has 1,000 attack, but it's 2k wall you can sometimes summon. It has another effect as well, where if it's destroyed, then you can also add either Fire Ant or the Supe from deck to hand. We do run a Fire Ant as a target, because it's a level 3 tuner, which can sometimes bring back Oracle of the Sun or Cyber Dragon or Sphere of Chaos from the graveyard. I don't know, if you're cutting something, just to get this to solid 40, you definitely cut this, because that rarely comes up. Then moving on to level 5, so we've got Assault Beast, so this searches Assault Mode activate. That's its primary function, that's basically all it's here for. But occasionally, it's a 1900 beta. That's 1900, level 4 is not terrible. We play Honest, so a lot of our deck is light, that isn't the Stardust, the Stardust Dragon stuff. And this also helps Chaos End Master hit over things, so then we can summon level 5 from deck to then go into the Stardust Dragon, then go into the Assault Mode. So, Chaos End Master. So, as you can see, when it destroys the opponent's monster by battle and sends to grave, you special summon a level 5 or higher monster with 1600 less attack from your deck. So it can't summon Cyber Dragon, but it can summon, it's meant to go with Sphere of Chaos, although it doesn't trigger Sphere of Chaos's effect, which is kind of annoying. But you can also summon Oracle of the Sun. So you've got 6 targets for this. I should obviously, I didn't preempt this or anything, but this is by no means the perfect build of this deck. I will have suggestions at the end of the video for other cards you could swap in, swap out, or based on playstyle, or based on, you know, maybe in further testing I find some cards aren't great, and we cut them for other cards. But at the moment, yes, this has 6 targets. Usually in siding this gets cut, especially game 3, or against Deck Devastation Virus decks, because this is only 1,000 attack. But so we have the Chaos Endmaster, we have Psychic Commander as another level 3 tuner. Oh, he's a tuner as well, which is a big thing. Psychic Commander, level 3 tuner, which we can get off Emergency Teleport. That's basically his whole function. We have Sangan, because this searches Oracle of the Sun, searches Honest, it searches Chaos Endmaster, searches Psychic Commander if we need to search Psychic Commander, and it can also search the Ant. That's the Ant is the last thing you want to be searching in most cases. And we have the Ant, which I already explained. Sometimes, maybe on your turn, you can crash this into an opponent's monster, summon Oracle of the Sun, then if you have access to another level 3 tuner, you can make Stardust anyway. Otherwise, and sometimes he can protect you from dying, because he'll bring back a level 5, and then you don't die, you know, but yeah. That's it for the monsters. There are some arguments where you could, if you're a really brave person, you could just play one Assault mode. But but the big thing with this is, again, if you draw your Assault modes, you can't use them. 3 of your traps are now useless. The main strategy of your deck kind of goes down the toilet. That's why I'm not brave, I play 2. Anyway, spells now. Heavy Storm, clear the way. I mean, Stardust is a good card to summon, but it can, you know, there's some cards it still loses to. Mainly Deep Prison is a big one. Mind Con, we play a suite of tuners. You've got the Chaos Endmaster, the Commander, and the Ant. You have 6 tuners, so Mind Control is easy to convert off of. Brain Control, it's Brain Control, and it has the same functions as Mind Control, and if need be, you can also tribute over their opponent's monsters with these. So it also works pretty well. MST clears the way. Book of Moon to help Chaos Endmaster get over things, and also to put annoying cards like Dad and other ones with big attack but small defense face down so our small guys can run over them. E-Telly to pair with our Commander. Traps. There's quite a few of them, but only a few of them are really defensive. Bottomless, because it's bottomless, gets rid of big threats. Mirror Force gets Mirror Force. Torrential to clear the way. We run a Starlight Road, which is another way you can get to Assault mode. Obviously, the Stardust you summon off of this cannot be brought back with Assault mode's effect. That's the one big caveat, but who really cares? Generally, that other effect doesn't come up anyway. It's just a nice bonus you have. But yeah, we're on Starlight Road in the side. And I forgot to mention with Brain and Mind, you could also... Well, Brain. Yes. Brain Control. You can Brain Control your opponent's Stardust and use Assault mode activate on it. You can't Mind Control and use it because it tributes specifically. Assault mode activate tributes your opponent's... the Stardust or the Synchro you're using specifically to make Assault mode. That's another thing you can do, but something you have to be aware of. That Mind Control doesn't work for that. So this is the trap card, which essentially it summons Assault mode from deck, which is pretty good, but it's also annoying because it summons it. It has to summon it from deck. It can't summon it from the hand. If you could summon it from the hand, you'd only play one Assault mode, because if you draw it, it doesn't really matter. It kind of sucks, but it doesn't matter. But since drawing it means this doesn't work, you kind of have to play 2 if you're not brave. We also play Ultimate Offerings. This pairs really well with Sphere of Chaos. You summon this, get your 3, you summon your 3, then you make an 8, and then you can go into Assault mode that way. But if you don't want to play the Sphere of Chaos package, this can be cut. It can be sometimes used defensively, but typically, since our monsters are quite small, that typically doesn't come up. So there are instances I can see people cutting this down to 2 or 1 or not even using it, which is completely fair. But yeah, I'd say Offering comes out if this comes out. And Judgment, because it's Judgment. Alright. Extra deck isn't really anything special. Run a few 6s, because we can make Then with Sangan and a level 3 tuner, we run a couple of 7s because it can come up specifically with Assault Beast or Honest, or if we steal our opponent's 4, and 4's pretty plentiful, so we can make those. We have a bunch of 8s. So we have double Stardust because we want to make this bad boy, and a second Stardust, never hurt. Dark End because obviously this is dark, and then any tuner, so we make Dark End. Thought Rule looks another level 8. Colossal looks good level 8. This is a meme. You can cut this for anything you want. Because it specifically needs Oracle of the Sun, and it needs, well, it doesn't need Oracle of the Sun, but it needs the Ant. We only run 1 Ant. So it's probably not coming up. But he's 3k, and if destroy a battle and sent to the graveyard, you pop your opponent's monster and burn them anyway. So it's good in that regard, but otherwise, yeah, you cut this. You don't need to run this. Mistworm, because it can occasionally come up, and again, I just hate not running it, because when I don't, it comes up, and I hate myself. 2 Chimera Tech to pair with our main deck Cyber Dragons, and we have a Catasta only because it potentially could come up if we steal our opponent's level 2 or level 1 tuner for the sake of these guys. But apart from that, you could probably cut Catasta if you want to by having that insurance policy just in case. Alright, side deck. Kaiku, because it means our opponent can't banish stuff from the graveyard. So, and also banishes your opponent's stuff from the graveyard. It's 1800, it's a good card. The Tricky. So, this is mainly for testing purposes, but also, if you're against a deck that plays Deck Devastation Virus, you probably want to side a couple of these out. You can side the Tricky in, and he serves the same purpose. In fact, the Tricky is probably the only way you're getting a turn 1 assault mode. Because going first, you can't summon these. So, the Tricky, you certainly can. If you have a level 3 tuner, then you can go on to Stardust, and then if you have the assault mode, activate Trap, and go for it. So I would be willing to actually test this out in the main instead of Oracle of the Sun, or at least cut down Oracle of the Sun. Crow, because it's Crow, destroy our opponent's plays, yada yada yada. Vortex to clear the way, Smashing Ground, get rid of Titanium specifically. Twister. Oppression is a huge problem for this deck. We have a lot of special summoning. Even our Cyber Dragons and our Oracle of the Suns, they special summon. So we need to get extra stuff to get rid of those floodgates. Twister came up clutch in a few matches, I'm going to tell you that right now. Concealing Light. This again for the Gigavice board, which I always side for, and also because it helps Chaos and Master get over things. And also puts annoying cards like Dad, Titanium, all them face down. They can't do stuff for a couple of turns. Dust Tornado, again for those annoying floodgates, and for those annoying cards called Royal Oppression, which is also a floodgate. Compulse, for our opponents on a deck there's a lot of synchro summoning, this just pushes them back, and you're essentially free to go. And a second Starlight Road, against like Gladiator Beasts, or Light Swans, or Blackwings with Icarus Attack. If they're pretty frivolous with them, just go for it hammy ham. Bring this in. Got another counter, and you're playing enough traps where they're not just going to go, oh, it's just Starlight Road, bro. Not necessarily. Alright. I think that's enough blabby, blabby, blabby. I'm going to have a replay I talk through, and have a couple other replays, which are just, on the screen, bit of music, chill out, and then at the end I'm going to talk about other cards you could play in place of some of these cards if you don't like them, or, if you want to try something a little bit different, but still pretty different right now. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next clip. And welcome back, guys. So, here's a replay I'm going to talk through. It's a pretty short game. I'm facing Blackwings. Probably a bit of hybrid Blackwings. Got the Grepher there too. This is essentially showing off what the deck can do. So, let's get the replay going. So, we're going first. You can't see my 6th card, so I've moved the camera to this side. It's Cyber Dragon, which we can't summon. As you can see, we can't really summon anything in this hand. Sphere of Chaos, Oracle, Cyber Dragon, or require our opponent to have monsters. So we just go Brain Control, Road. That's what we're going to do. Because we put Brain Control down, because just in case they have Heavy Storm. And they have Heavy Storm and they play right into Starlight Road. It's just that great. We have Stardust now. Fantastic. They set their couple of cards. Pass turn. I'm just going to... What could you do here? If they have something for it, it's fine. So that means they're going to summon something. We've got enough to be able to push it. Because we have Brain Control. That's essentially why I'm just doing this. They have something, we can take their monster, tribute over it, and get our game going anyway. So I'm not really worried if they have Deep Prison. But they don't, so it's fine. They have Road and Icarus attack. Now they have Deep Prison. And there's some Insurer and Pass. So my thinking here now is, okay, we've drawn Assault Mode activate. They've put Assurer down, but they're not swinging. Even though, so they either have Collude, and they're worried about our back row, or they want us to run into something. And then as we saw, they set a Deep Prison before. I'm like, I should Assault Mode activate, I can just wait. I don't have to do anything now. Pass back to them. They set Bottomless and they pass. And this is where we go for our big boy. Summon out the big boy. He's not bad. He's a handsome lad. Right, so here, try and brain control their guy. Just basically, so we can go for damage, and then tribute over it. Main phase 2. Like, no, bugger that, Icarus attack. I'm like, well, obviously I'm going to stop this. I'm not going to let that go through. There's no point. So we just set our Ultimate Offering and pass, bring back our guy. He's pretty oppressive, not going to lie. So they go for Grepher. They pitch Sirocco. Now, they have Dad. I guess you could go for damage, but then you're just dying anyway. So they hold on to Dad. But if you don't think your back row can deal with Assault Mode, then wouldn't you just go for a push? I don't know. And this might be Bottomless. I don't know. This guy comes back. And now it's my turn, so I get to go on the offensive. I don't know, it's a tricky situation for the opponent because I can just negate anything they do and they just quit. They surrender and then they quit if they don't want to go to a game 2 or game 3. So as you can see, the Assault Mode is almost like a floodgate in itself. It's really oppressive. To play through, you don't exactly know like when you should be making plays. Like, how do we get this thing off the field so then we can do some damage and deal with it before it comes back, especially if we don't have DD Crow. Need something that can get bigger than 3k. But I think the opponent there could have made some sort of push, maybe. Except they have to deal with it on their turn, so then they can summon stuff and do things. Else, if they try and dad it, then Dad dies and they can't summon Sirocco. It is a bad situation for them all up. You can see what else. that was off Starlight Road. Starlight Road was the one card combo, which is pretty funny. So yeah, that's against Black Wings. So now I'll just put some other games up, and then I'll catch you guys in the next clip that I was talking about. Catch you there. And welcome back, guys. So what I've got in front of you now is 10 cards that you could possibly put in the deck just to make it either play a bit differently depending on your preference, or switch up the side deck for different matchups and to stop some of the big cards which can actually stop this strategy. So we'll just go in order. So if you're not a big fan of the big Sphere of Chaos, or you want to play even more ways to get the Chaos Endmaster, you've got Shiny Angel. Shiny Angel can summon it from deck. Nice and easy, pretty easy to understand why you could play this. Big issue, it still plays into Oppression. No, it still plays into Deck Dev. But you can't play around every single card in the game. For those of you who just want to play one assault mode, you could always obviously consider playing Vortex Trooper. Shuffle that thing back into the deck, draw two new cards, and then draw a fresh one when this is destroyed. Whether or not you only play one of this, or if you play more, just in case you do draw assault mode again, is up to you. You can also play this when you're on the multiples as well. So it doesn't have to be played in just one assault mode build. And the cool little synergy is he's also level 3. So there's also that tiny bit of synergy there, although there's no level 5 tuners. So it's a great way to get to a 6. Because obviously Brio and Goyo are still fantastic synchros. There's a reason they get banned pretty quickly. Instant Fusion. So again, this way to just get a level 5 out straight there. Like I said, the Sun Dragon Inti is not necessary. You get to cut Catastra as well. And look, suddenly you've got 2 slots for 2 level 5s, or a 5 and a 3, depending if you want or access to the 6 side of the pool as well. But I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Play 2 or 3 of these. Instant 8. Pretty good. Rhoda. So Chaos Endmaster. It doesn't look it. It's a warrior, not a fairy. So you could actually play this to search it. Now, I'm not maining this because the only target I have is Chaos Endmaster, but if you're going to side or maybe even main DD Warrior ladies, then you could bring this in so it's another target, just as an idea. Because the thing is with Chaos Endmaster, it's easy to get to, so you may end up in a situation where Rhoda dies, which kind of sucks. My body, stops the annoying crap from destroying your cards. Even though, Stardust is good at that, but you got to get to Stardust first, right? So my body can stop those DDDs, oppressions, etc., etc. So it could be a good main deck or side deck target, depending on how you want to run it. And now for traps, Limit Reverse. I mean, I'll play Call of the Haunted first over this, definitely. But Limit Reverse essentially can get back basically all your Summy level 3 tuners. Oh, wait, you can bring back the Ant. That's the only level 3 tuner it can bring back. Or it can be like Oracle of the Sun as level 5. So it has that sort of thing, like you can go either or. You can also bring back Sangan, and obviously Sangan, if you switch to defense, will pop itself, and then you can add whatever monster you basically want to finish the combo, basically. But I would play Call of the Haunted, so it's a similar function, except it can target any monster, so it's much better. Then you play this first over Limit Reverse 99% of the time. Imperial Iron Wall. Biggest problem, this deck has that aren't called Oppression, well, mainly Oppression, DDV's a bit, and it hits half the deck, not the whole deck, right? But besides Oppression, DD Crow, games 2 and 3, are your biggest problems. Because they can just crow your guy in the graveyard and you don't get it back. But suddenly if they can't crow, then you're good to go. If you can't crow, then you're good to go. So, you can have these on the side. You probably have to switch up the side a little bit. I don't know if you want to be playing Kaiku and this, although Kaiku does have the same function anyway. But it could be nice to have some, insurance against that. Sort of, because Crow will ruin your day. So will Soul Release, but that's much harder for them to play because they can't play on your turn. Tuner's Scheme. This could be very funny. They summon Stardust. You flip this, you take it, and then you assault mode it away. You don't have to assault mode it away straight away because you keep the monster as long as it's face up. So that's just a funny thing I thought of. You go, oh yeah, you could play this card. That'd be pretty cool. I've talked about Call of the Haunted, so I'll just talk about Skill Drain quickly. So Assault Mode, And Stardust Dragon and Stardust Dragon Assault Mode don't care about skill drain, since they are in the graveyard by the time they do their thing to negate something. The problems with this is that this stops Sphere of Chaos, stops Chaos Endmaster, it stops, yeah, basically that. It stops your Chaos Endmaster, which is your 1 card level 8. So it becomes one of those things where is the trade-off worth it? Probably. You can still definitely side this. I wouldn't see an issue with that. Just have to kind of play it a bit differently to sort of get it to, work out. I also consider Gale as another thing you can play. It's level 3 tuner, and it's a pretty good level 3 tuner. And that also means you can play Armor Master in the extra deck as opposed to Urbellum. Although there's a game where I used Urbellum, and it kind of did its work, but I mean, Armor Master would have been much better in that situation. But I didn't put it here because it's just like a card that I would usually put in the side anyway. So when I go, oh yeah, this works for this strategy, no, I just put it there because Armor Master is a crazy card when you summon it normally. So these are the cards, yeah, like I said, you could, if you wanted to chop some things up, change it up a little bit, see how it goes, you could play these. I would definitely consider for the side Skill Drain and Imperial Iron Walls at a minimum. Instant Fusion could be cute if you're cutting down on Oracles and stuff, or if you want easier access to Chaos Endmaster to cut down the Spheres of Chaos, you can play this Shining Angel. And of course, for you brave souls who aren't actually that brave, and you're showing that you're not that brave, you could also play Vortex Trooper. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this one. Hope you guys enjoy this new deck. I am actually very excited to play this in paper. I'm positive I have most of this deck. The only card I might be missing is a second Psychic Commander, if I'm missing anything. And that package could be cut. So if that comes up, or I can just borrow one. The guys down at the locals are pretty cool with that too. Anyway, guys, if you guys enjoy the video, and I'll also catch you guys in the next one. Peace.